All right, guys, F around and find out. The parenting style is catching fire for families that aren't finding much luck with gentle parenting. It uses consequences as the driving principle. If a child breaks the rules, they have to face the music. With new concerns that Gen Z is facing more issues in adulthood, some experts are saying this could better equip kids for the real world. All right, we have clinical psychologist Jennifer Hartstein with us now. So, Jennifer, first of all, explain what it is. It's FAFO for short. But what is this parenting style?
So it's really leaning into the idea that natural consequences teach a lot of information, right? And what we've kind of leaned into before this was really exploring emotions and providing emotional resilience, but this teaches resilience across the board, independence, accountability, responsibility, things that kids are not kind of owning in a lot of ways.
So for the past few years, as you alluded to, we were talking about gentle parenting,
Yes.
right? This idea that we're going to talk about your feelings, we're going to explain, we're not going to say the word no, even in some cases.
Yes.
Why do you think we're now having such a major departure from it? FAFO seems like the exact opposite of gentle parenting.
And most parenting styles go from one extreme to the other, when in fact kind of somewhere in the middle is probably the best way, which is that kind of authoritative parenting. But parents are burnt out, and all of this leaning into emotion requires a lot more work for parents.
Yes.
So stepping back and letting kids learn what happens when you fail teaches them grit, teaches them follow through, teaches them how to problem solve. So it teaches an independence that we haven't really had in a while. And so there's a lot of really good, but there's some risk, right? We have to be safe, we have to be smart. We know that punishment really doesn't teach kids, and sometimes we could go too far with the FAFO parenting.
Yeah, let's talk about that. When is it alarming when you are when are you being too extreme with this kind of parenting style?
The thing we want to remember is punishment teaches no new behavior, right? So FAFO parenting can't be about punishment, and I think that's where it goes too far.
Right.
A natural consequence is punishment enough. If your kid forgets their homework and gets in trouble at school and you decide, I'm not going to bring their homework, they have to learn, they have to advocate, great lesson, and then you punish them again when they get home, too much, right? Because we want to look at what's the natural consequence, and if that's not enough, you can add some other things to teach them kind of right from wrong and what they need to do.
You know, in one of the recent examples I read about this style of parenting, it was a mom who was upset with her child for whatever reason, like she was telling him, don't do this thing to me, and then she ends up picking him up and throwing him in the pool. Or it was something that seems kind of extreme, but on the other hand, I mean, F around and find out, I guess, is the name for a reason.
Exactly. And I think what happens is, like, if a kid is splashing the mom and splashing the mom and splashing the mom and splashing the mom, it's like, look, do it again and I'm going to dunk you.
Right.
I'm giving you a cue that something's going to happen, right? But safety has to come first. And I think for a lot of parents, when we're emotionally charged, recognizing where that line is for safety can be a challenge. So if you notice that you're, like, emotionally on edge, time yourself out and figure it out and then come back and deal with it.
You don't want it to cross the line into becoming abusive parenting.
Correct. And I think that's hard for people because when our own emotions are there, we're already burnt out, we're feeling overwhelmed, we're stressed, and then our kid is pushing, it's easy to snap. So if you notice that, right, check yourself first, walk away, hand it over to a partner or someone else, see what else you can do, and then come back and discipline it. Everything can wait 5 minutes. You and I have talked about this before, so I think we can do that too with some parenting.
Everything can wait 5 minutes. That's so true. And a lot of emotions can change for the better in those 5 minutes.
Yes.
Jen Hartstein, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stay right here. Much more news straight ahead. You're watching NBC News Daily.